if you watched my recent career mode video, you'd know at the very start of that video I told you how irritable I was. I'd just been reading about Arsenal and how the January transfer window is going to be loans only. We're not going to be able to buy any players permanently. I was really angry. Really angry. So I'm going to talk about that in this video. But also, of course, we just lost to West Ham. So another topic that I would just love to talk about. So what should I start with? Let's start with the game because, yeah, that's what's fresh in my memory. We just watched, well, it just happened. You know, I always record straight after the game. Wow. I mean, I thought we were past this. I thought that we were having bad games every now and again, but today wasn't just a bad game. It was lazy. It was as if our players just did not care, and I hate to see that. You know, if you lose a game, but your players are giving their all, they're doing everything they can to win the game, but they just get beaten on the day, then you know what, you can take that on the chin, can't you? But when you see players walking, when you see players just seeing a moment where they could maybe get the ball if they make a good challenge and just stay on their feet and just let them walk by. Maybe I'm being overly harsh, but I can't really think of one player that stood out for us today. Maybe Kolasinac. I thought he had a decent game down that left side, offensively. Defensively, he ain't a defender. Who else? I think Ramsey did okay when he came on. We are going to miss the guy. You know, apparently he's on his way to Juventus. That's pretty much a done deal, apparently. He'll be going for free at the end of the season. A player of his quality, if he had a year left, maybe 2 years on his contract, you'd be looking at minimum 35, 40 million. But now, this is Arsenal. Don't you know that this is what we do at Arsenal? We let our best players run their contract down and then hold us to ransom, or they leave for free. You think Alexis Sanchez, technically Jack Wilshere, Mesut Ozil, pretty much the same deal with him. And we're just so naive, it seems. And I'm not talking just about off the pitch. We were naive on the pitch today. West Ham were better than us in every single way. Declan Rice. Round of applause to Mr. Rice. This guy, or this kid, I should say, he is something special. Now, obviously, I could easily just jump on the bandwagon today because he's got man of the match. He scored the winner. I've been watching this guy since he was put into the team by Pellegrini. I think it was a couple of games into the season where West Ham were obviously doing really badly. Losing, I think they lost 5 games in a row, changed it up, and Rice came in and they haven't looked back since. This guy earned his new contract, that's for sure. I saw the West Ham fans tweeting constantly, you know, please can we just give him a new contract? He's going to go somewhere. He was on 5k a week or something. He's the future of West Ham's midfield for sure. When Mark Noble retires, which probably isn't too long away, he's over 30, Declan Rice will be there. But will he stay? If West Ham play like they did today and start doing well in the FA Cup, the League Cup, before you know it, they might win one of those. They might get top 6 in the Premier League, and they're kind of back where they could have been a couple of seasons ago as they left Uptown Park. Upton, I like to call it Uptown Park just because it makes me laugh. Upton Park was a fortress, it really was, and moving to the London Stadium hasn't gone as smoothly as they would have liked, but I can see now they are starting to build their own fortress there. You know, Upton Park was a fantastic stadium. I think almost very similarly to Highbury, it's impossible to recreate the atmosphere. You know, at Upton Park it was so loud. I've been there myself. Really, really loud. The Highbury Stadium was like that. Very, very small. So when we moved to the Emirates, you see now a lot of the home games, they're pretty quiet. There's not much atmosphere there. And it's kind of the same with West Ham's new stadium. But they're slowly getting there. And I think that they've definitely got the squad to get top 6, top 7, top 8. I think they've definitely got the ability to do it. If they hold on to their main players. You know, we're looking at Arnautovic, potentially his last game today. We saw when he got subbed off, he did the two-handed wave. It was almost like a goodbye. A bid came in from China, the Chinese league, $45 million apparently. I mean, how are you going to turn that down for a player that's 29 years old, has massive attitude problems, and arguably, You know, they're doubling the price they paid for him. It's one hell of a deal for West Ham. So it wouldn't surprise me if it goes through. But you would like to see West Ham keep hold of their best players if they really want to continue building. Felipe Anderson, the guy's a baller. Absolutely incredible signing. Defensively, they looked really good. I think Creswell had a really good game for them. Maybe it was more just Arsenal on the attack were abysmal, appalling. Any other words that begin with A that just describe how bad it was? It was arse today. It really was. I feel like, we had many chances to equalise. Aubameyang had 2 very good chances. Iwobi had a shot just go wide. It's just, why couldn't just one of them go in? A draw would have been an incredible result considering how bad we were today. But that wasn't to be. I don't think I need to talk more about the actual game today. I wanted to talk more about January and the revelation that we found out over the last 48 hours and the fact that Arsenal, who, let me just remind you, Arsenal are the 6th richest club in the world. We're valued at over £2 billion, okay? It's a lot of money, and guess what we can't do? Spend money. It's unbelievable to me. There's many reports that it's due to FFP, which is the financial fair play rules. I don't know. It just seems mad to me how you can be in the top 100 richest clubs and not be able to spend a penny signing a permanent player. I just can't believe it. And in fact, let me find this link. So this is kind of a list of the rubbish that Arsenal fans have had to sit through over the last few seasons when it comes to financials at Arsenal Football Club, the players that we've sold and bought, contract situations. These are just a few examples. So, Sanchez. We all knew that he wanted to go to Man City. It was reported that Man City were willing to buy him with 1 year left on his contract for a large sum of money. £60 million. £60 million. I remember it very well. I thought to myself, don't do it. Don't. We want to keep Sanchez. Of course we do. But he had 1 year left on his contract. And obviously we all thought he'll just sign a new contract. Hopefully he'll sign a new contract. He's our highest paid player at the time. Best player at the club at the time. We took a big risk by turning down £60 million for Alexis Sanchez. And in the end, Man City didn't even go for him. He ended up going to Manchester United, where we did some sort of crazy swap deal and got Mkhitaryan as part of the deal, which hasn't worked out, let's be honest. So we've gone from £60 million for a player with a year left on his contract to swapping with Mkhitaryan. Huge decision that I think was one of the worst we've made in a long time. Reminds me of, when we gave Theo Walcott ridiculous money. It took us so long to get rid of him then. It's mind-blowing that we could have got 60 million for Alexis Sanchez. I mean, look how terrible he's been doing at Manchester United. Who knows, he might do better now under Solskjaer, but I feel like that was a huge mistake. We let Ozil run down his contract and pretty much hold us ransom. We all knew that Ozil wanted to stay. He loves London. He's openly said it many times. He's really happy where he is. And he really likes playing for Arsenal. And he let his contract go down and down. Arsene Wenger was stubborn, didn't want to sign him up on a new contract. Many other clubs would have given him a new contract after a season or two, just to keep their assets. That's what big clubs do. They keep their assets. They don't let other teams come in and steal their assets. Why would you? So when it came to Ozil, 6 months left on his contract, roughly, we give him an incredible deal, 350,000 per week, before tax, obviously. It's a ridiculous amount of money. And one thing that Arsene Wenger made sure of while he was at the club, and which I absolutely loved, there was a very strict wage structure at the club. There wasn't one player that could have been miles above the others in terms of how much he was earning. And we broke that with Mesut Ozil. We really broke that. And Alexis Sanchez as well. We weren't willing to offer him the crazy money he wanted. He would have stayed if we offered him this same contract we gave to Ozil. 350k, he would have stayed. I'm sure of it. And we'd still have Alexis Sanchez right now. Whether or not he'd be as good as he was, who knows. So what we could have done is either kept Sanchez or sold him for 60 million. Instead, we let him go for free, technically, because we got Mkhitaryan, which hasn't worked out. And then Mesut Ozil, we let him run his down. You hear the fact that he could move to Inter Milan. He could have moved, I think, Besiktas were really interested at the time, or some other countries, some other clubs. They could have got him for free otherwise. So we offered him 350k per week. And guess what? He doesn't even play! Where is he? He's fully fit. He was fully fit today. Wasn't even in the matchday squad. Not even on the bench. And do you know what we lacked today? A little bit of something behind the strikers. A little bit of creativity. Oh, wouldn't it be great if we had a certain number 10 that was an international German player, World Cup winner, one of the best in his position in the world. But no, because Emery doesn't seem to want to play him. Ramsey, he's going to be leaving for free at the end of the season. Now, you might think to yourself, we've lost better players than Ramsey. We'll be fine. What I will say is, when you have a club like Bayern, when you have a club like PSG, when you have a club like Juventus wanting him, surely you think to yourself, wait, Juventus want him? They've got some incredible midfielders. Why would they want Ramsey? Maybe we should be keeping him. Maybe we should give him what he wanted. The offer was a large sum of money. I think it was 200k a week, there are reports, and Ramsey was willing to accept it. And then Arsenal withdrew the offer. I think we will be fine without Ramsey. I don't think that it's as big as losing Mesut Ozil would be, or as big as losing Sanchez was. But it's still going to hurt us. It really is. He has a lot of qualities, and he's going to go for free. So that's another huge mistake. Wilshere, left for free. Yes, it was made of glass. Completely injury prone. He's gone to West Ham. He could have maybe gone for 25 million if you want to take a gamble on a really injury prone midfielder. But with his quality, when he's fit, he walks into most Premier League sides in that kind of top 8, I would say. Very difficult for him to walk into Man City. And yeah, okay, you understand what I'm saying. But maybe a team like Everton, West Ham. He obviously walks into the West Ham team when he's fit. We let him go for free. Danny Welbeck. Yeah, he's an interesting one. He's not got long left on his contract, has he? Either. Oh, this one. Lucas Perez. We signed Lucas Perez for 60... I want to say... I think it was 17 million pounds. We played him like twice. And then we sold him to West Ham for something stupid, like 3-4 million pounds. Debuchy. Oh my god, I forgot about Debuchy as well. Signed him for a ridiculous amount of money. What happened to him? Another clueless decision. Callum Chambers. We received a 20-odd million pound offer for him. Instead, we loan him out twice. To Middlesbrough and now Fulham. He's never going to be Arsenal quality. And then you got other examples as well. Other players that come up. Serge Gnabry. Chesney. What's happened with Arsenal? Serge Gnabry's a great example. Do you know how much he's worth right now? He's valued at £45 million. We sold him for... I actually can't remember. Do you know what? It makes me feel so depressed. It really does. Chesney as well. I think he would have been more than good enough to come back when he finished his loans out. He would have been more than good enough to come back into this Arsenal side, and we wouldn't have needed to buy Leno. So that's another 19 mil we would have saved, or whatever we spent on Leno. And Chesney, he was our player, and we let him go to, guess who? Juventus, who were losing Buffon. They saw the need for a new goalkeeper for when Buffon would retire or eventually move on like he has. And they went with Chesney. If Juventus are willing to replace Buffon with Chesney, what are we thinking? He's clearly a very good goalkeeper. But Arsenal, no, we don't want Chesney. just because he was bad a couple of years ago. Do you know, Mr. Wenger, you should know more than anyone. Players can be bad, and then after a couple of seasons, they can be pretty good. You know, with training, with experience, just playing games. Some players can improve. Chesney, no doubt, is one of those players that was really, really dodgy. 100% he made some really silly decisions in goal for us. But going out on loan, playing at Juventus, he's now one of the top goalkeepers in Europe. He's easily in the top 20. It's okay that we've got Leno, because I do think he's very good. And one thing that I always remember as well, Kante. Now, if I remember correctly, we signed Granit Xhaka that summer instead, when we could have got Kante. Now, I'm not saying Kante would have chose Arsenal, because obviously he ultimately chose to go to Chelsea. But apparently, we wouldn't match Chelsea's offer of 35 million. We wanted to spend 30 million. And then guess what we did? We spent 35 on Xhaka. I mean, it's... Yeah. What can you say? I've had enough of Arsenal at the moment. It's been such an up and down season so far. We had a massive up where we went 22, was it? 22, 23 games unbeaten in all competitions. We thought, wow, this is great. But as of the last month, this team has just lost a lot of confidence, clearly. And we're making decisions behind closed doors that do not make sense. And now we're in a position where we're going to be 6 points behind Chelsea if they win. We're going to be level with Manchester United if they win. We're in the window and we can't spend a penny. And we're not going to finish in the top 4. We're not going to win the Europa League, let's be fair. So, where are we? What are we doing? Just insane. I'm a big fan of Unai Emery so far. But I am starting to question his decision-making when it comes to the first team. I think it's very clear he still doesn't know his first 11. He doesn't know the best squad to put together. It's very clear to me that he's not a fan of Mesut Ozil, and he will do whatever he can to move him on. I think it's quite clear that Ozil is going to be leaving. Not this month. I don't think it'll be this month. I think it'll be in the summer. It's also very, 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 very clear to me that he has the hots for Guendouzi in footballing terms. He loves the kid, and I do. But today, Guendouzi was, I think, out of his depth at times, and I would have liked to see Torreira come on for Guendouzi. Instead, he took off Xhaka, and I don't really get that. It seemed a little bit odd to me taking off Xhaka when I thought he was doing more than Guendouzi was. Guendouzi likes to shoot a lot when maybe he shouldn't. He overhits his passes in key moments. There are times where I think, you know, for his experience and his age, he's incredible and he will be a fantastic player for us. There's no doubt about it. But I think sometimes with younger players, you have to take them off to prove a point, to give them their drive, you know, give them a reason to fight again. If you took him off, that would have been I didn't have a great first half. I need to hit that training ground hard this week and I need to improve, you know. I don't think leaving him on was a good decision. I really don't. Oh man, I'm gonna stop here because I could go on all day. But in general, being an Arsenal fan is really good fun. I love it. Arsenal till I die. Obviously, you know, you support your club through and through. We're in a bit of a rut right now. Who knows what's going to happen in terms of signing players on loan. Maybe we will get 2 new players in. Denis Suarez is linked, Benatia is linked, but it wouldn't surprise me if we just get 1 player in that's going to be on the bench, and then when it comes to the summer and we're all expecting this massive marquee signing, we're just going to spend 40 million on a French winger, you know, and then he won't be a very good player. I'm done. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.